Let us start new topic, averages. Averages is one of those topics which changes our thought process, which makes us more comfortable with aptitude. Aptitude is natural ability, is what we learnt, and averages will explain us why is aptitude natural ability. So let us get into the topic now, but before I discuss what is an average, this average is the term which we use very frequently in our day-to-day life. But the mathematical definition of average is sum of observations by number of observations. So average is equal to sum by number. That itself implies number is equal to sum by average and sum is equal to number into average. So what happens is when we get to know this, we can apply them into questions and we'll get our answers. But you all have to know that the questions are not restricted to only these three equations. The majority of questions in aptitude are asked where you have to be spontaneous, where you have to understand the concept better, where we have to understand the way we use average in our day-to-day life. We go to a movie and when somebody calls us and asks us, how is the movie? We might have said him or her that it is an average movie. We have analyzed the movie in such a way that we felt it is an average movie or an above average or a below average movie. But when we said it is an average movie, we never calculated it as sum of scenes by number of scenes. We never did the calculation and then said it is an average movie. We didn't say it is an average because we love the term average. We have analyzed the movie. We felt that the movie has some good scenes, some bad scenes, and some part of the movie is okay. We considered everything and then we came out with an answer saying that it's an average movie. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when we use average terms so frequently in our day-to-day life, why are we using so many calculations while solving questions on aptitude? My question to all of you here is, why can't we answer questions or why can't we solve problems in the examination the way we solve our day-to-day life problems? So let us get into the concept of understanding averages in detail. Suppose I say the average marks scored by the class is 73. I repeat, the average marks of a certain classroom is 73. The strength of the class is 50. And I got to know that the average marks scored by that class is 73. What does that mean? The average marks scored by that particular class is 73. That is what I got to understand now. That is what the information I got to know. And I am new to class. I am seeing total 50 students there and I am feeling that the average is 73. So I carried some impression into the class that this class average score is 73. I understood something by listening to the term called the average of the class is 73. So my question here is, what did that term tell me? It told me something about the group of students, but how do I understand that information? 73. It created some impression. What it exactly means that the classroom average is 73. What does that mean? If we understand this, yes, the average concept will be very different from today. Let us try to get deep into the concept now. The class average is 73. That doesn't mean that most of the students scored 73. As I said, there are 50 students in the class. If most of those 50 students scored 73, that 73 is not an average. That 73 becomes mode. We have discussed this in our school. When something is getting repeated most of the times, we call it as mode. We had three different things: mean, median, and mode. So we had mean, median, and mode. When something is happening a lot of times, we call it as mode. That means that don't become an average. And if you consider the scores of the classroom, and if you arrange them in ascending or descending order, that means in increasing or decreasing order, and pick the middle value, that middle value is called median. Even that is not average. My interest is in mean. Mean is average. But don't give me the definition of sigma here. What I'm asking you is, what is this average? How do we understand average? What do we understand by the term called average? And some of them feel that average is something approximately. That's absolutely false. Approximate value is not an average. If every student scored in and around 73, that's not an average. There might be a case where no student scored in and around 73. No student scored anything around 73. There might be scores of 20s, 30s and somewhere in 90s and 100. Still the average can be 73. In all those 50 students, no one scored 73 or no one scored close to 73, still average can become 73. So the concept of understanding average as approximate or in and around is absolutely false. I'll give you another example. Suppose say, I'm new to cricket. I don't watch cricket frequently. One of my friends watch cricket so interestingly. He's a huge follower of cricket. He keeps following every match. And one day when I went to his house, he was watching cricket, I sat beside him. Just assume the situation. India were 5 wickets down and Mahendra Singh Dhoni came to bat. When he was coming to bat, he carried his statistics with him. So there were statistics shown, and in those statistics, there was information of number of matches played, number of innings played, number of centuries, number of half centuries, strike rate of the batsman, and there is also the information about average. Mahendra Singh Dhoni's batting average is 50. I saw that and I started speaking to my friend saying that, Arey, Dhoni's average is 50. It's great. Is Dhoni's batting average 50? So I was asking him, surprisingly or shockingly, is Dhoni's batting average 50? So I understood something from that 50. My question to all of you here is, what did I understand? What do we understand by looking at that batting average? Or what does that mean? What is it conveying about Mahendra Singh Dhoni? Mahendra Singh Dhoni's batting average is 50. That gives us certain information about Dhoni. We get some impression on Dhoni. So my question to all of you here is, what does that mean? Does it mean that Dhoni is capable of scoring 50 in every match? Absolutely wrong. It has nothing to do with the capability. Does it mean that Dhoni scored in and around 50 in every match? That's a false information, because Dhoni got out for 0 in certain number of matches and his highest score is 183. Both the scores are not around 50 or 50. So that's the false information. Most of the matches Dhoni scored 50. As I said, that is mode. That can't become an average. And that's the false information again. I know I'm stretching it a bit. I know I'm discussing this concept for a lot longer time. But my intention is very simple. I really want you to understand what is an average. Dhoni's batting average is 50 doesn't mean that he scored 50 in every match. Doesn't mean that he scored around 50 in every match. Doesn't mean that his minimum and maximum scores are taken into consideration and we called it as 50. No. It only means that if I assume, I repeat, if I assume or if we assume that Dhoni performed equally in every match, if Dhoni performed equally in every match, he would have scored 50 in every match. That means average is not a reality. Average is an assumption that every person is equal or every match is equal. Every match, if Dhoni has performed equally, then the number of runs he would have scored in each match is 50. He would have scored. That itself means that it's not a reality. He didn't score 50 in every match. But if he scores equally in every match, that would have been 50. In the first example, when I said the average score of the classroom is 73, that means if everyone in the class scored equally, that would have been 73. Very, very simple. If I assume every person in the group, every person in the team are equal, then that value which comes out when everyone are equal is an average. I'll explain it in a much better way. So please try to focus now. Forget about Mahendra Singh Dhoni's batting average. Forget about average marks are 73. Forget about these two situations. Now, let me make it more simple for you. Imagine you have two good friends. One person is Ravi and the other person is Santosh. And let me explain Ravi's character for you. Ravi is kind of a person, just imagine, Ravi is kind of a person who strives for equality, who lives for equality. He is such a kind of person who cannot tolerate inequality. He loves to see everyone equal in the world. Wherever there is inequality, he steps in. And he solves the problem, he makes everyone equal there, and then only he feels happy. Then only he feels comfortable. Then only he can sleep properly. Then only he can eat properly. So that is how his character is. And let me explain Santosh for you. Santosh is also a good person. He is a nice person. And he is a normal person like every one of us. He is not a bad person, but he is not like Ravi, who strives for equality. But these two people are best friends. They are very, very good friends. They are best friends. And one day, they both were sitting and talking to one another. They got time, so they were discussing lot of things. Good, bad, everything. And suddenly, Ravi realized that Ravi has 300 rupees with him and Santosh has 200. Ravi has 300 and Santosh has 200. Now tell me, is Ravi feeling happy? Because he strives for equality every time. He wants everyone in the society to be equal. But he realized that his friend Santosh, his best friend Santosh, is having only 200 while he is having 300. He is not feeling comfortable. He is not feeling good. Can he go home and sleep properly? Can he eat properly? Absolutely no, because his best friend is having lesser than him. So what should Ravi do now to get lot of relief? Should he give all his money to Santosh? Then Santosh will be having 500 and Ravi will be having 0. Then Ravi feels so bad that he is striving for equality, ended up getting 0. He can't give all 300 to Santosh. So what should he do? He has to give exactly 50 rupees to Santosh. Then Ravi will have 250 rupees and Santosh will also have 250 rupees. And now Ravi has got lot of relief. Which number has given Ravi relief? 250. This 250 is average. So very simple, please pay your attention. The number which gives relief when I feel that everyone is equal. The number which gives me lot of satisfaction when I want to see equality in the society. The number which gives me so much happiness when I want to see everyone equal. That number is an average. So very simple here. You can also do it as sum by number, that is equal to 300 plus 200 by 2 people involved, that is equal to 500 by 2, that is equal to 250. But what did I ask you to do? Let Ravi give 50 rupees to Santosh. Then Ravi will have 300 minus 50, Santosh will have 200 plus 50. So Ravi will have 250 and Santosh also will have 250. So this is how average can be done, is what I have explained. So let us try this with an example, with a very complicated example, and see whether we can answer this or not. Pay your attention. The average weight of 27 students in the class is 34 kgs. One boy entered the class and the average increased by 2 kgs. Find the weight of the boy who entered the class. Let us try to solve this now. If we have to do it mathematically, we all know average is equal to sum by number, number is equal to sum by average. That implies sum is equal to number into average. Let us take this into consideration to solve this question. So what I want you to understand here is sum is equal to number into average. Let us find out the original sum of the classroom. There were how many students? 27. What was the average weight? 34. This is the original sum of that classroom. And if I go with the new sum of that classroom, one student joined, that means it has become 28, and average increased by 2, that means it has become 36. If we multiply 27 into 34, we get it as 918, and 28 into 36, which is equal to 1008. And it will take 30 seconds at least to calculate original sum, and it takes 30 seconds to calculate the new sum. But this is the new sum and this is the original sum. This change of weight from 918 to 1008 has happened because of this new boy. So new boy weight is equal to 1008 minus 918, which is equal to 90 kg. So my answer for this question is equal to 90 kg. But tell me, is it necessary to calculate it in this way? Is it compulsory that I have to do these calculations and find the values and then subtract? Absolutely no. Yes, if it was mathematics, you have to do it in this way. Because we are dealing aptitude, because we are learning aptitude or we are knowing aptitude, we are using our natural ability. I don't understand, is there any natural ability in solving it in this way? Please focus. Try to understand what I have explained. Try to understand the explanation about two friends, Ravi and Santosh. Now I want you to take the character of Ravi. Now I want you to strive for equality. Now I want you to feel that equality. Now I want you not to tolerate inequality. So you have to strive for equality now. Make sure that you are the reason for that equality. If you feel it in that way, throughout these averages concepts, you will feel so comfortable solving any kind of question from anywhere. So pay your attention now. Let us say the number of students in the class were 27. And the average is each. When I assume that every person in the class is having equal weight, then every person's weight will be 34 kg. So I will go for 34. There were 27 students and the average was 34. Now 28th person entered. That 28th person, forget whether it is boy or girl, that 28th person is you. You just feel that that person who entered the classroom is you. So you have entered and the average became 36. So you entered and it became 36. Who is reason behind this 36? It's you. So what I want you to feel now is, before you the situation was 34, after you it has become 36, you take the responsibility of making them 36. So what you do is, because you are also included into this group, you take 36 now and become comfortable. Before we do a social service, we have to feel comfortable first. So you take 36, then look at the team. Team is having only 34. You are having 36, but the team without you is having only 34. Now you take the responsibility of making them 36. To make them 36, how much should you give? You have to give 2. You have to give 2 to how many of them? 27 of them. So the remaining 27 people, you keep distributing 2 to every one of them. You keep giving 2 to every one of them. That means how much will you give? You will be giving total 54, because 27 people taking 2, that means you will be giving 54. You have taken 36, you have given 54, that means you had total 90. So what is your weight now? It is equal to 90 kgs. Very, very simple. In 2 lines, if I have to explain this, it is take 36 and then make everyone 36. So it is take and make. Take 36 and make 36. That gives you answer. So what I am trying to explain here is, please understand that every time the question is asked where people are joining or people are leaving, or any question on averages where things are asked to be understood, you have to take the responsibility. You have to become the reason of making things equal. So let us try to understand this with another example so that we'll understand it better. Please pay your attention. Suppose the question is, the average weight of 43 students in the class is 48 kgs. One person entered the class and the average increased by 0.5 kg. Find the weight of the person who entered the class. Very simple. He said there were 43 students in the class and the average was 48. So number of students is 43 and each of them had 48. Average is nothing but I assumed it as each. One student entered and it has become 48.5 because it increased by 0.5 kg. Who is this person who entered? Just assume that it is you. You have entered and you made them 48.5. First information is take 48.5. You have taken 48.5. I repeat, take 48.5. Then make everyone 48.5. If you have to make everyone 48.5, you have to give how much? You have to give 0.5. To how many of them? 43. If you keep distributing 0.5 to the remaining 43 people, you will be distributing 21.5, because 0.5 to 43 is 43 by 2, that is equal to 21.5. So your weight is now, you have taken 48.5 and you made everyone 48.5. You have made everyone 48.5. So to make everyone 48.5, you will be adding 21.5. So your answer for this question is equal to 70. 48.5 plus 21.5. 48 plus 21 is 69. 0.5 is 1. That is 70 kg. Even if you multiply these two, you will get a value here. If you multiply these two, you will get another value here. And if you subtract this value from this value, then you will get 70 kgs. But that is not necessary. It is as simple as this. Let us try another one now. The average age of 21 students in the class is 18 years. If the teacher joins the class, the average age increases by 1.5 years. Find the age of the teacher. The information is very clear. The number of students in the class are 21 and the age of each of them is 18. Teacher joined the class and the age increased by 1.5 years. So I will put it as 19.5. So 21 people had 18 years, teacher joined and it became 19.5. Who is the teacher here? You. You joined and made it 19.5. First you take 19.5 and then make everyone 19.5. To make everyone 19.5, you have to give 1.5 to how many of them? 21. If you give 1 to 21, that becomes 21. If you give 0.5 to 21, that becomes 10.5. 21 plus 10.5 is 31.5. So I'll go for 19.5 plus 31.5. That is equal to 51 years. So the age of the teacher is 51 years. I'll repeat the procedure. Listen to me very carefully. 19.5 you will be taking and you will be giving 1.5 because they had only 18. To how many of them? 21 of them. That implies 19.5 plus 31.5. It is equal to 51 years. So very, very simple. Take 19.5 and make 19.5. So you will take, then you will make. Everyone should become 19.5. That is your intention. That is your objective. That is how you will solve questions when people are joining. but the terminology may change. There may be questions where people are leaving. There may be questions where two people are joining, two people are leaving. There might be questions where you have to find out the average of those two people who joined, those two people who left. There are a lot of varieties of questions. There might be questions on ages, combination with averages. There are a lot of questions on averages. We shall discuss every question in detail in the further videos. Thank you so much. I am Crisna Chaitanya Reddy. Bye.